Welcome to Faces with Columbus City Schools. We're your hosts, Seneca Bing
and Garima Wildemariam.
We are calling all parents who are in a panic, wondering how to prepare their children for life.
I think they have a name for that. It's called adulting.
Uh-oh. Well, my adulting journey began in 9th grade. I packed my schedule with classes that catered towards college recruiters. I thought I knew everything. Every decision was made to look my best for someone I didn't know instead of discovering what was best for me and about me.
Exactly. School is essentially the process of discovering yourself, how you learn, how you process, your likes, your dislikes. Today's postgraduate landscape has changed. What we define as ready for the real world has changed. Students are preparing for graduation in middle school, and Columbus City Schools is poised to lead the way, exposing students and families to a multitude of career pathways that include workforce, 2- and 4-year institutions, and the military.
And that is what today's episode is all about: college and career readiness 2023 and beyond. But before we talk, let's catch up on what's happening in Columbus City Schools with this week's CCS Roundup.
Our community turned out to celebrate and support the 2023 United Negro College Fund 40th Anniversary Columbus Walk for Education. The event helped the UNCF raise funds to support our students and work with HBCUs to maintain a pipeline of graduates who are leaders of tomorrow. Thank you to the UNCF, city and business leaders, and everyone who came out this weekend to support our students. Last week, we celebrated our first 2 cohorts of Columbus Promise students. City community partners and Columbus State Community College leaders, and I Know I Can, welcomed and encouraged our new and returning scholars as they start a new chapter in their academic journeys, whether they are just starting at Columbus State or starting a brand new year. This is the 3rd year for Columbus Promise Scholars, and we are so grateful for our partners at the City, Columbus State Community College, I Know I Can, and many business partners who are making college a reality for so many of our CCS students. Congratulations to 2 Columbus Alternative High School seniors, Joshua Conroy and Neil Gordon, for being selected as semifinalists in the National Merit Scholarship Competition. This program honors students with exceptional academic ability and potential for success. World Language Middle School recently received a huge honor. Last week, the attaché from the French consulate presented the school with the La Belle France Education Award in a special ceremony. World Language Middle School is one of 65 schools in the United States that have received this honor. A big congratulations to the school for this prestigious distinction.
We are on the lovely campus of Columbus State Community College. Let's just start right in. Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about the partnership with Columbus State and all of the wonderful things that you all have going on?
Thank you. We have an awesome partnership with Columbus State. We have a partnership with Ohio State, Otterbein, and Capital University. And they all have rallied really around Columbus City Schools with having our students and parents in the center. And part of that partnership is our senior to sophomore program and junior jumpstart. Phenomenal programs under the umbrella of CCP.
That is wonderful. So for those who may not know what CCP means, tell us what CCP is.
CCP is College Credit Plus.
Okay.
So there are students that they can take College Credit Plus on their own, and then we have students that are in our program because they want that extra support. Mm-hmm. They want those daily check-ins, those weekly check-ins. So our Junior Jumpstart program came about because what we realized was that there are like 11th graders that are really kind of waiting or ready to get their feet wet. And we're like, this is a perfect program where it is a part-time program here at Columbus State. Students take classes in the morning and they go back to their home high school to finish their day. And the thing I really like about that program here at Columbus State, their advisors are amazing. Nicole Martin, Kim Cannell, Lauren Jones, amazing in trying to really break down any barriers that they would have to being successful. Senior to Sophomore program, it's been around a long time. It's kind of like our flagship program in that students are fully submerged on a college campus, really just kind of taking in everything on a college campus. And hopefully when they graduate, potentially they could go to another university, maybe as a sophomore. I always tell them that, you know, the free college credit is really great, but it's when you're walking onto campus as a freshman, a true freshman, you know what to do. You know how to advocate for yourself. You know how to talk to your professors. You know how to order books. Simple things as, you know, how are you going to schedule your classes? They know what to do. And I think that's really the beauty of the program.
Now, we also have Miss Crystal Jackson, who is here, and you had a student, right? You're a parent, so you know firsthand how this thing works, who went through the program. Can you talk about some of the benefits that your child, and you can talk about which programs they went through, but some of the benefits as well?
Yeah, so for my daughter went through the Senior to Sophomore program. Again, the benefits were I was able to watch her maneuver through college, right, while she's still at home. You know, how she talked to her professors, how she maneuvered through her classes, how she, you know, did she meet her assignments? So I had her credentials, so as a parent, I could watch her, you know, classes, watch her grades, see if she met her deadlines. And that was a really big benefit as a parent, because I knew that once she did go off to college, I knew she could still handle those things.
I did junior to jumpstart and senior to sophomore, and I'm in Columbus Promise, so yeah, I do all three. I did junior to jumpstart, and I feel like it was a great little first step into, you know, seeing if you even want to be in college, because a lot of people don't even know if they want to be in college or not. And then senior and sophomore, it really helps you like really get out there into the actual college experience, and then it also gives you just a head start. And Columbus Promise is good money, and so I'm doing it all for free, you know. Yeah.
That is amazing. You know, you're always looking for those scholarship opportunities in those ways, and so that is an amazing partnership that we have here.
It also is a way to help you get your credits coming through quickly, faster than AP. I will also say that it was a great way for us to start learning key skills that you need to know when you get to college, such as emailing, how to email a professor, how to schedule classes on your own, even though you will have that advisor, how to schedule classes once you get to college, and just talking and being in a room full of other people that may not be the same age, and just have those different advantages of challenging coursework.
What advice would you give someone who's kind of considering senior to sophomore?
Change your study habits. If you're coming from high school into college, change your study habits. It's more intense work that you have to do, so you're going to be on a more rapid schedule, especially with the amount of classes that you have. It's not scary, and it's not like a lot, as long as you take it in at your pace.
Be open-minded. Be ready to interact with your peers, talk to new people, add to your classes. Everyone there wants to be there. Everyone there, you're in a class for a common goal. Everyone's scholars. Just apply yourself. Know that you belong.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, when it comes to having an open mind, don't be that kind of closed-in person that you are at your high school. Here, everyone's very welcoming. Everyone has a really nice personality. They're very nice people here. The teachers, like Emmanuel said, are understanding, but they look at you as adults. So just keep an open mind and you'll be fine. I think that if you kind of break out of your comfort zone, just talk to a few people here and there, you'll get along just fine.
Your homeschool, that's what you know. And so trying to step into the unknown, that's really scary.
You know, every high school student is going through things, and you don't really know you're gonna want the same things 4 years from now.
Honestly, I was a little bit nervous about it. I thought it was gonna be like hard.
I want them to take that leap at the point, to leave a chance, because in life, you're gonna have a lot of chances to improve on yourself.
I like to work with my hands, I like to be creative, I like problem solving, and so having all of that combined with an instructor who really, really is passionate about that, doing something that you love and learning to do it early is just an amazing experience. if you come here, you're working towards something that you know you're going to build your foundation on.
A lot of people learn differently. Some people learn by listening, some people learn by that, but hands-on is the way you can get the most improvement right away.
That little push of learning that there was a whole community of people, it really inspired me to, buckle down and think this is actually what I want to do with my future.
As a former school counselor, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. And so we are just going to talk all things college and career, graduation, and all of those wonderful things. So with me, I have the wonderful Jenny Mead, who is the Director of Career Tech Education. I have my friend here, Ashley Logan, who is the Director of College Advising. I was going to say access, and that's wrong. College advising. And then I have the wonderful Kate Webster, who is a fantastic high school resource counselor. She's very humble, but she helped to train me, so I can say that. All right, so we're just going to throw things right here on the table. When you think about college and career readiness, what comes to mind? We'll start here with you, Kate.
Oh, boy. College and career readiness is a really big and complicated topic, and how we advise students is as individual as each student. So it's really difficult sometimes to figure out a way to scale college and career readiness in a district the size of Columbus. But I think that pretty much everybody agrees that it includes things like being academically prepared. And some of that academic rigor involves not just the subject matter, but learning how to learn, being flexible, being positive about learning, which then crosses over into some of those other skills that we have to reinforce in our students, some of the soft skills, some of the social emotional skills, and probably a lot of those cross-cutting skills like persistence, because there are so many jobs coming to Columbus, which is exciting, but a lot of the jobs our kids are going to be in, and we hear this all the time, we don't even know what those jobs are yet. Yeah. So we have to instill, whether it's individually or in classes or in small groups, their ability to have a growth mindset and to persevere so that they know they can take on the next job and learn the next skill that they need to continue on in their careers.
That's great. Awesome. So college and career readiness to me, and to really, I know we've been talking a lot about this and totally everything that Kate has said already, but also really like that exposure piece. And so being able to take students and also their families, and really they could be a first grader, they could be an 8th grader, they could be an 11th grader, and trying to connect students' passions with maybe exposing them to opportunities that come after graduation. And so when you're able to do that, we're talking about also, before, although we are a college access organization, we work very closely with school counselors, but shifting with now 2023 and being able to tell students that really the career is the end goal. And so how are we exposing them to multiple opportunities to kind of understand that, hey, I might want to do these 3 things in life, but what is kind of the track or the way in which I can get there, knowing that there's multiple ways to do that. So exposing students, bringing in folks from various careers, but also kind of talking about that post-secondary education that can lead to that way.
Thank you.
Awesome. I agree absolutely with everything that has been said. College and career readiness today is not what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The city of Columbus is not what it was 5 years ago. The growth that we're having in our city and the opportunities for our students are amazing, exciting. And so we're preparing students for careers that they may not even know exist. And so that career awareness piece is gigantic. What is coming to Columbus? What are the skills that are needed? When you think about advanced manufacturing, 5G, electric vehicles, all of the work that's coming this way, how do we expose students to those environments? How do we skill up? What are industry credentials that students could be earning? One, to see if they are passionate about that, to continue down that pathway, or to say, well, I'm glad I got the credential, but I never want to use that ever. I consider that career awareness too, because as you have that experience and you decide maybe that's not something you want to pursue. So I think it's a really exciting time in education. We get to really support students so that not only are they crossing the stage, they're entering the workforce while they're in high school. And then whether they do post-secondary immediately, later, as they want to skill up or micro-credential later, I think it's more of that lifelong mindset, growth mindset, which is a great time to be an educator.
All right, we are going to now talk about your college advising managers that you have in our buildings.
Yeah, absolutely. So at I Know I Can, we've been a longstanding partner of Columbus City Schools, celebrating our 35th year. And so in the model that we're currently in, as you just spoke to, we have full-time staff called college advising managers who are in all of the traditional Columbus City high schools. In the school buildings 4 days a week, working very closely with school counselors, very closely with administrators, with a focus, of course, on servicing our students and those families. So being able to meet with students on anything and everything for planning for life after high school. And so even as a college access organization, you know, kind of making the shift within the landscape of, you know, it may not just be your 2-year or 4-year, but it's about understanding what your options are after high school, working closely with school counselors to help identify that for students. So doing all of that. And so, you know, and so we have that, but then just the arm of those college advising managers, aside from just advising students, as you know, financial aid, and we have scholarships and we have grants that we are working very closely on too with those students. We also are getting a little bit back into the middle schools more than we did even in the pandemic years. And so being able to have our AmeriCorps College Guides who are also going to be in every middle school as well. And then also following our students after they graduate from Columbus City Schools, if they do enroll in your traditional college, kind of providing that additional support as well. So, yeah. And as quick as I could say it without.
That was so fast. That's awesome work, and it is just very important. So what do you have going over with your folks?
Sure. We have a couple layers of support. I think one that stands out the most is our career and community resource counselors, who are called CCRCs, and people sometimes don't know what those letters stand for. And we've really pivoted their role this year. So previously they supported students with internship hours and the application process to career centers. And so now with the the demand of workforce is, and the expectation that all students have access to career tech, it may look different in different places. We have some programs that have large wait lists. We have comprehensive high schools developing and expanding programs. So the role of the CCRC is to really work as that liaison between the career tech office and the home high school. A big piece that they're leaning into this year is work-based learning opportunities for students. So as students are saying, I'm really interested in arts and communication because I believe I am an influencer on TikTok. You know it. Many students are saying that, and actually many are. They have more followers and really have pivoted opportunities for themselves off of social media. So as students are saying that, what are opportunities that we can have students practicing technical skills and getting feedback from industry partners? So they'll set up those agreements, make some of those opportunities happen, and then reflect, which is what Kate had mentioned is a really important part. Did they enjoy that? What aspects did they like? Our career tech office really works to make sure that our Perkins funding is being used to support technical skills and growth within all of the areas. And then our career tech teachers, which we have an exciting opportunity that if you're a career tech teacher, you typically have industry experience. So allowing industry-based teachers to be classroom teachers, to bring their experience, to practice those technical skills really allows industry and classroom to kind of meet and prepare for workforce. So as we continue to find the emerging opportunities in Central Ohio, how do our teachers connect with those? How do they rearrange their curriculum? How do they align it to the emerging technologies of Central Ohio? So we do have a lot going on. Our professional development days will be really busy. And more importantly, the opportunities for our students will evolve and align with the growth of Central Ohio.
I think it's worth noting too that we've been talking about career technical and college, and that those lines used to be very distinct before, and I think even before it was a kind of a myth, right? Because we found that our students who went to the career centers, when they did go on to college, were even more successful. And so many of those programs have college credit now, and have articulation agreements, and so that's really exciting. I think that I always reiterate to our counselors that, yes, we do want a sense of urgency, particularly for things like Columbus Promise. That is for students who are going in that fall immediately after. However, everybody's path is different. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't go back to college if you've taken a couple of years off. We really want to instill in our students that they have the ability to do this, and there will always be people willing to help them, regardless of their high school background or experience. So I think that it's just so important that everybody gets that message, and that there's so many on and off ramps, right? So maybe we have somebody who goes into an apprenticeship. A lot of those apprenticeships have agreements with colleges and universities, and perhaps then that person goes on and gets an MBA, and we're talking to our students about, well, I want to do hair. What's that mean? Does that mean that you want to rent your own chair? Does that mean that you want to start taking some entrepreneurial classes at Columbus State for free while you have the chance? And then you can open up your own salon, or maybe you'll end up segueing into another business. When we talk to them about going into their career, it'll probably be a series of careers, right? So how do you keep growing and believing in yourself, and how do we teach our students to reach out to the people that they need to reach out to keep advancing those careers? But we have that help right now, so please take advantage of it. We have scholarship workshops. We have workshops at each school. It's another whole topic of school links, but we post all of our local and regional scholarships there. I try to keep a website up to date for high school students and families. You can find that on the CCS website under Students and Families. We try to make that information readily accessible. We also know it's overwhelming. So if you hear something, go talk to your I Know I Can CAM. Go talk to your school counselor or your teacher or your CCRC about those advantages out there for us, because there's a lot can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yes, and you're really talking about building that resilience and the power of relationships, and making sure that you have, and advocacy, that's the third one, making sure that you're doing those things so that if your path takes you on a different course, you have a relationship with someone and you can ask those questions. So thank you.
So I think lots of opportunities. The first one that came to mind is we have a partnership with the Columbus Rotary that offers career path awards. And so those are for students who aren't entering the traditional college route, but going straight into industry. So it could help pay union dues, it could pay for work belt, equipment, those big costs that as you begin in some of those careers that you may not have that money up front. So it's game changing to have those funds to be able to do that. The other big piece is really looking at career tech students, and I would love for somebody to do a PhD project on student loan debt of students who have a career tech background and how they scale up. Because let's say you attend a career center and come out with STNA. You are entering the workforce immediately, but chances are where you go to work will pay for you to go back to school. And so what are some of those other skill up opportunities? The funding that's hitting Central Ohio for employers to continue to leverage and skill up their current staff will benefit our students as long as they're entering into those careers and into that workforce. So I do think there's opportunities for that lifelong learning. And so what are skills, what are credentials? We offer forklift training for a lot of our students in the district. And maybe that's not something they want to do long term, but you can get a great job right now with a forklift certification in Central Ohio. And so that allows you to have the income to be able to pay for or pivot and do other things. So again, I think the opportunities, whether it's an actual scholarship or just employment, that then the employer offers, technical training, certificates, micro-credentialing, all of the other opportunities that are maybe a little bit different than what we consider as post-secondary, allows you that pathway and hopefully saves you money. That's the other goal at the same time.
Yes. Wow. All right, so my mind is even blown, right? By all of the resources. One of the things that I will say as we are nearing the end of our time is there is not a shortage of resources here in Columbus City Schools and partners who are willing to do this with us. And so I'm so grateful for you being with us. If there's one thing, because we heard a lot, and so families may be a little, like me, with their minds blown. So what is one thing that you would tell them to do to just learn something more? Who should they talk to? Where should they go? I'll start with.
Sure. I think I would say in our, comprehensive high schools, which every student graduates from one, is to talk to your CCRC and find out what opportunities, whether it's in the home high school or in a career tech building, that you can obtain for industry credentials, employment, and workforce.
All right. And so I don't know if Kate and I will be probably maybe tag teaming on this one, but essentially, talking to, of course, your school counselor and/or your I Know I Can college advising manager. But with that being said, not like talking and just kind of just start to form not only that relationship, which most school counselors and CAMs already have that, but as a student or as a family, trying to explore like what are my options and being able to sit down with those individuals to kind of outline what this could look like and what are your interests again. Kate alluded to school links a little bit, and so our students really trying to make sure that they're exposed to taking some of those assessments, but that they understand what those assessments mean, so that when we're sitting down and I can look up and say, oh my goodness, like it looks like you love math and science, or that might be like a great career cluster. Like, did you know like all of these various jobs that you could get one day? And let's talk about like what the education would look like after high school. So speaking to those caring adults within the school building is going to always be, I think, the first step.
Ditto. So obviously, I'm a school counselor. I want everyone to go see their school counselor. I know that my kids went through Columbus City Schools. I know they were not the type to seek out their school counselor, and they were more quiet, wanted to do things on their own. So sometimes as parents, I would say to parents, please, if we have evening meetings or open house, when you're having family engagement events online, try to take that time to maybe go through that with your student, especially if they're ones who are still learning how to advocate, and give them opportunities where perhaps you give them more structured opportunities, like, please go in and ask your school counselor this question, so that you can kind of help them develop some of those skills, because we don't lack the support. It's just everybody's also very busy. And so we want to make sure that they're building those self-advocacy skills.
The Columbus Promise is basically a program, and they pay for your first 2 years at Columbus State. And I like that because college is expensive, and I just like close to home, and it's really convenient.
What excites me the most about the Columbus Promise is the fact that I'm going to be able to attend for free. Columbus State has many really good programs, and I'm going to be getting the exact same qualifications I would have got at the career school.
Some people really can't afford to go to school, and I think it's actually a good opportunity because it's free money, so you should take advantage of it.
All I know is that here you're safe and you're home. People are going to take care of me, the professors, the advisors, my counselors. I feel like Columbus State is a very good place to go for your first experience of college. Seeing it here now, I know that's going to be a great experience for me and all my other peers. I'm confident that I'm actually going to succeed here.
Thank you for tuning in to Faces, the show that gives you access to all points Columbus and Columbus City Schools.
From our district departments to our community partners, we are bringing our families and community together for a conversation to discover what connects us all, the joy of learning.
Remember, be courageous.
Be yourself.
Be the light you wish to see.